So let's go over quickly the consultation part of your appointment. A consultation is very important, and like I said before, I don't do in-person consultations. I usually do FaceTime consultations, or I do consultations at the beginning of their appointment. But always have customer service. We're in this business regardless of what we're doing, permanent makeup, regardless if you've been in this business or not. We are in the customer service industry, which means we are here to please clients. You have to get this mind frame when dealing with clients. You are there to enhance them, to customize them, to make them feel beautiful, more confident. And we're into the customer service industry, so get some personality, be yourself, introduce yourself. The next step is time to have them sign a consent form. Certain counties, they do require them to sign an aftercare form and keep it on file for 2 years. I feel like it's too much paperwork, and I've never met an inspector that checks for that, so I don't have them sign the aftercare form and keep it on file, but I do have them sign a consent form. How I do my client files, you do have to keep client files on the premises for 2 years. That is a requirement. In Georgia, we cannot do electronic filing because it has to be in a paper form. So once they sign the consent form, I take a Polaroid picture of them. The reason why the Polaroid picture is so important is because you will get calls in and they'll say, hey, my name is Kelly Burke, and I was there in April, and I wanted to ask you a few questions. Well, you want to be able to go into that binder and that folder and flip through, because I have, I would like to show y'all, but I don't have it with me currently. It's a binder, and I have the alphabetical tabs in the binder. I have everybody's last name organized by the letter. So if she says, hi, my name is Kelly Burke, I, came in April and I had such and such done, I could just go to this binder, flip through to the B's, go to Burke, pull her thing, and guess what? I have that Polaroid picture right there to remind me in my mind who it is, because you're going to be dealing with a lot of people in this business and you're not going to be able to remember names, but you could definitely remember faces, and it could jog your memory on what exactly happened that day. I also recommend that you take not only a Polaroid for your client file to have on file, that you also take photos in your phone, because if anything happens, if say she said, one eyebrow is lower than the other, or whatever the case may be, one heel lighter, you could go and refer back to those photos. Not only is those photos used as your on a marketing platform tip, but they are used as a just to keep a visual file of them on the phone. So always make sure, I have an iPhone, I have the Pro. I buy the most storage that you could buy because I take a lot of videos and I take a lot of pictures. So if she says she came to me in April, all I have to type in is April 2020, and everybody who came that month or that date, I could pull it up easy and refer to them. So take pictures, have them sign a consent form, take a Polaroid picture, staple it to the paperwork. Keep the paperwork in a binder. Let them know that it will take 2 to 3 hours for their session. Do not, basically, in other words, don't rush you. I had a few ladies at the beginning of my career would come to me and want to rush me. You can't rush this. This is not a rush thing to do. They need to have the time blocked out and not rush you. And if they need to rush you, they need to reschedule, because this is a 2.5, sometimes to 3.5 hour process. I mean, I've never gone to 3.5, but hey, you never know. It could take that long, and you want to make sure you get it the way it needs to be before they leave. So to tell them not to rush you, block off enough time. Also, another good thing is to find out, this is actually before their appointment. And like I said, I put my forms and files on my website, so they read it before they get here, because I don't want to keep saying the same thing over and over every day. It's a lot of energy. So what I do is there's a form on there or information on there when they book that says if you're on any blood thinners, apple cider vinegar, cod liver oil, fish oil, peels, or regimens, please discontinue a week before they come. And any skincare products needs to be discontinued 2 to 3 weeks, 2 weeks before they come, to get it off and out of their system, because it will affect the permanent makeup procedure. Why does blood thinners, cod liver oil, and apple cider vinegar affect the permanent makeup procedure? It is because it thins the blood, and when they are getting the tattoo, they bleed more. When they bleed more out, less pigment goes in. When less pigment goes in, they don't get as good as results. So you definitely want to make sure and see, and apple cider vinegar is one of them. And why do people take apple cider vinegar? Well, a lot of people are starting to take the apple cider vinegar vitamins. A lot of people also put apple cider vinegar in their water as a diet regimen. So you want to make sure that they're not taking it on a consistent daily basis, because it will thin the blood and will cause them to bleed more. And when blood comes out, pigment does not go in. Which is another reason, if you want to know the difference between TAG 45 and TKTX. TKTX is the primary numbing agent that is used, that you will see in the video. It is the primary numbing agent that is used. However, once the skin is broken and blood should never drip, okay? I have been in a, not trying to get too much off subject, I have been in a room with a microblading artist and she had blood dripping from a client's face. Absolutely, and she wasn't trained. Come to find out, it was a complete scam. You are not supposed to have blood drip. Only thing blood does is surface at the top of the eyebrow. However, if it keeps surfacing, you use TAG 45, which is your secondary numbing cream on broken skin. And the reason why TAG 45 is so important is because it also stops the bleeding and the irritation. So it almost clots the blood underneath their eyebrow to stop the bleeding. So TAG 45 is very important. But anyway, make sure they're not on that. Take pictures, staple it to their consent forms. And there is a section on a consent form. Let me show you. There's a section on a consent form on the back sheet. A consent form is 2 sheets. On the back sheet of the consent form is a place that says signature date, color use, technician use only. You want to write what color mixes you use, because in this business, a color and staple it. You know, you'll have your consent form stapled together. But in this business, this is the consent form. In this business, consent form and back form, you want to write what you use right here, because say for instance, if they come in for their touch-up and you pull their file, you could go to the back page and say, oh, okay, I use forest brown and fudge, and okay, you want to go darker, so we'll just use more, you know, fudge instead of forest brown, or we may add some espresso. So these consent forms are very important, and usually there's a Polaroid picture stapled right here, and I keep them in file. So that is a part of the consultation and the startup, the first appointment. And then you want to let them know that the brow mapping will take 45 minutes to an hour. One eyebrow will always come out better than the other, and then the hard part is getting the other eyebrow to look like that eyebrow. So you want to say it takes 45 minutes to an hour for brow mapping. And you will both agree on it, because once the brow mapping is done, they need to consult with you, you need to consult with them, and make sure that that is what they want before they proceed, because once it's on, it's on.